Okay, guys. Um, super excited to be able to share this training with y'all. I've actually been working on this for a couple of days now. So today, what we're going to focus on is this chart that we have pulled up. Hopefully, you guys can see this. Excuse me. Basically, this chart shows us how to get to Emerald by July 31st of this year. Um, so that you can, if you go Emerald by July 31st, you get to go to Hawaii this year. That's the cutoff date for you to get to go to Kona in September. So I know we talk about goals a lot. We always talk about goals. In fact, we had a whole meeting about setting our goals and making sure that we know where we're wanting to be. Excuse me. But I think a lot of times we have, a lack of how. How are we going to get to these goals? How are we going to make this happen? How are we going to make Emerald happen? And that's why I love this chart because it really lays it out there. And I mean, even for me, like put a visual to it of exactly what you need to do to get where you want to be. Um, I realize for a lot of you, this may feel really unattainable. Um, if you just started out, or maybe your business hasn't gone as quickly as you've wanted it to, and it feels completely unattainable to get to Emerald by July. But guys, that is what makes me so excited about this chart, is because it shows you just how doable it actually really is. Even if you did just start, and then there's a lot of you that didn't just start. You've been working on this for a while without even realizing it, and you've actually already got a leg up because you've already got some of this done. So basically, to do this, you have 7 months. We're not even halfway through the month of January, so we're not going to count this month as a loss. Guys, that is plenty of time. I actually saw a story the other day of a lady that went Emerald in 5 months, and she had like 1-year-old triplets too, and probably a million other things going on. Guys, if it is possible for her to do it, then it is possible for you to do it as well, because with 1-year-old triplets, you're going to be really busy. So we are just going to dive right in and we're going to start breaking this down. Okay, so to get to Hawaii this year, you need to be Emerald by July 31st, which is what I was telling y'all about. To hit Emerald, you need 1,500 points. And some of you may still be learning about points. If you guys have questions about that, let me know. 1,500 points, that's what you need. It sounds like a lot, and it is a lot. It is a lot. But once you have a growing team underneath you, this can really happen so quickly. It just takes off. Once you get that momentum going, momentum is your best friend in network marketing. And once you get that momentum going, this can happen just in the blink of an eye. So, having a growing team, growing your team, and encouraging your team to grow their team, that is going to be your goal with this. Guys, even if they're wholesale, I talk to all my new ambassadors about wholesale versus having customers. Guys, customers are great. We want customers. But, once they stop ordering, you're not making anything off of them. There is nothing left for you to gain from. And the beauty of residual income is when you have a growing team, you are going to continue to make money off of those people that are signing more and more people underneath you. Even if somebody falls off here and there could be somebody under them that continues to grow. I have a great example of that on my team where I have a level 6 that I'm now getting paid on like she's a level 2 because so many people dropped off, but I'm still getting residual income even though those people in between us dropped off. I hope that makes sense. But that is the beauty of residual income with your growing team. Residual income with building a team creates stability. If you are relying solely on commissions and what you're selling to customers for your paycheck, that's not stable. A lot of times we have a lot of people drop off around the holiday season because they're paying for, Christmas and all that kind of stuff. And if your commission goes down and that affects your check because you haven't been building a team, it's going to make a huge difference. Whereas if you had built a team, when you lose a few customers, it doesn't make as big of a difference in your check. Okay, so we are going to start with this 25. 25 is the magic number. You need to sign 25 people yourself personally. I know that sounds like a lot, guys, But if you break it down, into the 7 month period, if your goal is to get to Emerald by July 31st, that averages, it's like 3 point something people a month. And obviously, you can't sign a half a person. So you're going to want to average 3 to 4 people a month, which is basically going silver and maybe a little bit more every month. Guys, that's so doable. It's so doable. Like I was saying, these can be wholesale. Odds are you're not going to find 25 people who want to run a business with you. If you do, though, holy cow, you're going to be Emerald in no time. It's not even going to take you the 7 months. But with wholesale, your people are going to get the very best price. They're going to have a website where, if they do have somebody that ends up wanting to try the products, they're going to be able to give them their website. The only thing that you do want to make sure that they understand is when you sign up as a wholesale ambassador, you do not get the 60-day money back guarantee that customers get. So that's just the one thing that I want to make sure everybody understands. So guys, you're going to start working with these people as soon as you sign them up. Obviously, you're not going to wait until you have the full 25 to, get them working on these next things on this list, on this chart. Start working with them, even if they are wholesale people, asking them, who do you know that might, want to go on this journey with you? If they're, interested in the business, then, who do you know that would be great with it at this with you? Or who do you know that, needs the health aspect of this or the financial aspect of this? A lot of times, guys, if they don't want the business now, they may end up wanting it later. And then it's just more fun to do this with a group. If they're just solely in this for the health side of it, who do they know that's wanting to get healthy with them? Because then they can join along, get their 3 people, and they're going to be doing this together with their friends. And that's always better. So once you get these people, their 3 people, they've gone silver. Or once you get your 25 people, sorry, I said that wrong. Once you're working towards your 25 all going silver, you're gonna work with them individually. You're gonna get them to go silver. So with silver comes a $100 bonus. At that point, they're probably pretty close to getting their products for free just based on the 3 people that they have underneath them. And they may even be getting a little bit over that. They may even be making a little bit money outside of their products. But a lot of times, guys, they get that little taste of how amazing our compensation plan is and what it can actually do. And they think, okay, I'm not even working this and I'm getting my products paid and I'm making a little bit of money on top of that. And so a lot of times they'll get a little taste of it and they become more interested in the business side. So that's the neat thing about the wholesale option. Okay, so you've got your 25 people. They've all gone silver. That is going to give you 75 people. So then you're going to work with those people and work with the people that you signed to help them. Those 75 go silver and get 3 people each. So this is where the power of 3 comes in. We always talk about the power of 3 in network marketing. You have these big goals and you think, I want to go diamond. I'm going to need to sign 300 people, and then you get overwhelmed. And that's, you're probably not going to sign 300 people. That's not a realistic thing in normal cases. But that is where duplication and duplicating this power of 3, you sign these people, then you get all of them to get 3, then you get all of those people to get 3, and that adds up very, very quickly. Um, so you're growing your team and you're growing your network because every single person that you sign and every person that everyone else signs has a different network. And so at this point, we're helping those people outside of our personal networks, but we're helping them grow their teams as well, which is also helping us out. So you get those 75 to go silver, and that equals an additional 225 people. So if we take these and we add these all up, you've got your original 25 that you signed, then you got them all to silver, so that gave you an additional 75 people. You got those 75 to all go silver, so that gives you an additional 225 people. That equals 325 people on your team. So in Plexus, you get paid on active qualified ambassadors. So we're just going to assume that all of these people are active and qualified. And guys, obviously you're going to have a few drop off here and there, but you're going to be okay because some people are going to sign more than 3, so it's all going to work out. So we're just going to assume that all these people are active and qualified, and these people would all end up being in your levels 1 through 3. In Plexus, levels 1 through 3 are all worth 5 points, 5 pay points. Like I said, if you guys have questions on pay points, let me know. So if you take those 325 people times 5 points each, that's going to put you at 1,625 points. So, and you only needed 1,500 for Emerald. So you've gone Emerald and you've actually gone above and beyond Emerald. So that gives you a little bit of leeway too. So not only have you owned Kona, you get to go to Hawaii. You've also earned the Lexus. And I know that all of our pay ranks are life-changing money for everyone, for different people. Silver was life-changing for us because silver paid for our groceries, and that was where we were lacking every month. Gold to senior gold was life changing for us because I was paying our mortgage. But there's something different about Emerald, guys. The jump from senior ruby to Emerald is a big jump. And it truly, truly is life changing. That takes you to a six-figure a year income, guys. That's huge. And I never in my life dreamt that I would have that kind of an income, much less get that kind of an income while I'm staying home with my kiddos. So that's huge and it's life changing. Okay, so we've kind of, gone over the numbers. I've showed you guys the numbers with this chart. So how are we going to do this now? How are we going to make this happen? First and foremost, your belief in our company and our products and your desire to do this have to be there. If you don't have that belief, you're really just wasting your time because you're not going to be able to get there. So you really have to make sure that you have that in place. The next thing I want to talk to you guys about is leading with the wholesale. We've talked about this a little bit already. Guys, when you start talking to people about our products, and let's just say, for example, that you're going to get this person on the triplex, which is what we start a lot of people on. Break down those prices with them. Show them, a retail customer for the triplex is going to pay $139.95. A preferred customer is going to pay $124.95. But a wholesale ambassador is going to pay $109.95. Guys, when you break it down like that and you show that to them, which is going to look the most appealing to them? Exactly. The $109.95 is going to look the most appealing to them. And then I just go in and I explain it to them like it's a Costco or a Sam's membership. I say, you're going to pay this $34.95 yearly fee, and that is going to buy you wholesale pricing for 1 year. I always explain to them that there's no strings attached, that there's no monthly minimums to order. There's no, you don't have to order every month. I explain all of that to them, and that is, they're going to pick wholesale because it's such a great deal. And even paying that $34.95, that has paid for itself within just a couple of months' time. So it's really going to be the best deal. And this is why I don't shy away from going the wholesale, because that's going to help you get those 25 people, that magic number. And then like we were saying too, later on they may decide to pursue the business side of it as well. The next thing that I want to talk to you guys about doing, how are we going to get this done, is taking your list. Not just the people that you want to do the business with, but just all the people that that need Plexus. Whether it's just somebody that is just tired all the time and worn out, whether it's somebody that has autoimmune issues that could be helped. Maybe they're wanting to lose weight. Whatever it is, get those people on your list. The longer that I'm in this business, the more that I firmly, firmly believe that there is some aspect of Plexus that every single person needs. Everybody needs Plexus for whatever reason, whether it's a health issue, whether it's a weight loss issue, whether it's a financial issue, everybody needs Plexus. So you're going to start reaching out to those people. Guys, I want you to remember, and we've been talking a lot about rejection on the team page the last few days, but I want you guys to remember that for every 10 no's you get, you're going to get one yes. So you're going to have to get out there and you're going to have to get through those no's to get to those yeses, which makes me wonder, and I'm sure you're thinking about, am I even talking to enough people? Well, if you have this goal of signing 5 people every month, you want to get 5 yeses, that you're going to have to talk to, on average, 55 people a month. That way you get 50 no's and those 5 yeses. Now, obviously, guys, that's just an average, and it's not going to be the end-all be-all. Sometimes it will be a little bit different, but reaching out to 55 people a month sounds like a lot, but when you break it down, It's basically 2 a day, and that's doable. Everybody can figure out, I don't care how busy you are, you can figure out how to message, reach out to, send a voice message on Facebook, call them, shoot them an email, whatever, however you go about it. And it may be different with every person you reach out to based on your relationship with them. Everybody has time to reach out to 2 people a day. Um, so the problem with this is that I think a lot of times we'll start doing this. We're all pumped up and we're ready to do this and we're ready to get through those no's so we can find those yeses, but we get a couple of days in and we haven't gotten a yes yet. And so we stop. And so, guys, I want to challenge y'all to make the decision today to get through those no's and to keep going, even if it's 11 no's and then a yes. Keep going, because your yes is right around the corner. And so often we give up right before we get there. So the next thing that I want to talk about, just in how we're going to how we're going to make this happen, is events. And I know that word may instill a little fear in you just hearing it, but don't be scared of it, guys. Events can be lunch with a friend. Events can be, meeting someone for coffee or drinks, or whatever the case may be. Don't feel like it has to be some huge event. My friend Amber, who's my running buddy in Plexus, she was telling me about how she was talking to Melissa Eichenhorst, who is a diamond in our area. We love her to death. And she was talking to her about events and talking to her about, one-on-one events versus like just having one large event where, she brings a lot of people in. And her kind of take on this, and this was her take from the get-go, not just because she's a diamond now, was that if she could get in front of a lot of people all at one time, instead of having to do a bunch of different, individual things, that really freed up her time, where she just maybe had to do that just once a month instead of feeling like she had to, have all these things on her schedule. And part of that is Plexus Freedom. So I really liked that insight to it. Thinking about getting in front of those people all at one time rather than having to do a bunch of different things. So anyways, I liked that take on it. Working on being seen by more people at one time. And guys, don't think that it started out with 100 people coming every time, or more than that probably now, because she draws huge crowds now. But guys, this started in her house. Just probably like a little, very basic sip and see. Nothing over the top, nothing like what it is now. It started small and then it grew. There's the old saying from Field of Dreams, if you build it, they will come. And it's true. But we have to start somewhere and we have to commit to keep going. But we just have to start. Start with those little things, a sip and see, maybe meeting up with another ambassador, even if they're not on your team, even if they're sidelines, and hosting, going to a restaurant and hosting an event once a month. Just start small. You just have to start. That makes me think about the events that we started doing down here. When we first started, which was basically about a year ago, we first started, and there was 4 of us that got together. We were all sidelined, and we would do these events. And it just made it easier doing it like that, because we didn't feel like we were doing it all by ourselves. And we didn't feel like, if nobody came, that it was going to be as big of a deal, because we felt like surely, with 4 of us, somebody's going to come. And so that was a really good way for us to start. And then as your team grows, obviously you can break off and do, individual things, which is kind of what we've done. But as your team grows, say you bring one person to the first meeting and then they end up signing 2 people. Well, then at your next meeting, those 2 people are able to invite people too. So we're reaching other people's markets there again. Okay, let me see where I'm at in my notes. So Melissa, Melissa kind of does like the more once a month type of deal, but I want to give you guys another example, and that's Sarah Marble, who's also a diamond in our company. She actually decided several years ago that she was going to do weekly events, and I believe they still do them every Monday night. And it was basically just like her mom and her dad and her sister when they first started out, and it took several months for them to really start taking off. But there again, you have to have the resolve to keep going. So whether you're doing smaller events, a sip and tea at your house, whatever, or, trying to do something a little bit bigger, just understand that that it may take a little bit of time, but you just have to keep going. The next thing that I want to talk to you guys about is getting your new team members plugged in, making sure that they're on our Facebook pages. And I know we don't want to overwhelm new ambassadors, especially those wholesale ones, but if we can get them plugged in, the sooner the better, because we're going to catch them when they're excited and ready for change. So just a few of the things that we offer, get them on those newbie trainings. We are doing new ambassador training the first and third Monday of every single month. And these are invaluable. It's going to help them get the very best start that they can and just maybe even understand just a little bit more about Plexus. Our Monday night huddles. Loving these. We just got done doing one with Nikki where she recapped Super Saturday, and I just feel like these are great just to get together and just spend a few minutes together, and it just inspires you to dream big. And so really try to get them on those. Our online events. Guys, we are hosting and providing for you guys one online Facebook event every month and then one online live Zoom event. So, where you can actually hear the people speaking and sharing their stories. But, guys, just them seeing other testimonies, seeing all the different things that our products can do that maybe they don't even realize, just seeing all of that is going to get them pumped up and fired up. And maybe, seeing some of the business testimonies too may end up, inspiring them. Sorry, I skipped one. Three-way calls with your sponsor. These are huge. If you're, working the business, it's huge just to be able to hear it from somebody else and get some tips on how to start your business. If they're just wholesale, maybe they have some more product questions and they're just getting to hear your answers, from a third party. Guys, if y'all ever want to do three-way calls with me, y'all just let me know, shoot me a message, and we will figure out a time. Normally, evenings work best for me because my husband's home and my kids are night-night, but we'll work something out if we need to do those. Explain to them from the get-go how to go silver, that they need 3 people underneath them. Even there again, if they're just wholesale, just explaining to them that that could be their goal and they could get their products paid for. And a lot of times, guys, I mean, if they signed up for the wholesale discount, obviously they are looking for a deal. So what's better than discounted products? Right, free products. Free products are even better. And so if they can get that little glimmer of how that can happen and maybe even happen with just them going silver, they may get turned on to the business a little bit sooner. Or at all, where we didn't even think, them as a wholesale, we didn't see them turning into someone who wanted to pursue the business. One of the things that I talk with all of my new ambassadors about, and this is one of the first things that I get them to do, the first thing I get them to do is to figure out their why they're doing this. And we talk a lot about that. But the second thing that I get them to do is I get them to do a rough draft of their first Facebook post, how they want to present to their audience that this journey that they're taking, even if it's just the health side of it, to, try to help them get some other people on this journey with them. Help them, encourage them to be real and excited and vulnerable. Those kinds of posts are the ones that touch people's hearts. And so I really, really try to encourage them to be vulnerable. And then I usually tell them, hey, once you get this written up, shoot it to me and let me read through it and I'll give you some tips. Most of the time, I tell them not to change anything because they're just being real and they're being themselves, and that's what I love. But just helping them with that. Okay, guys, success loves speed. I think we're conditioned a lot of times to think and to live in the slow and steady wins the race situation. And that's good, but slow and steady can be really frustrating in this business. So momentum is going to be your friend. Success loves speed. Let's get that ball rolling for you guys. It's going to take work and it's going to take commitment. There's a learning curve in this industry. Network marketing is not like any other job you will ever have, and you're going to have to get out there and you're going to have to learn and you're going to have to read and you're going to have to commit to doing that. But guys, once that momentum, once that snowball kicks in, it is literally unstoppable. And it's really, really exciting to see. I have tasted that snowball and it's pretty amazing. So I love these numbers because it just shows you how to kick that in gear. I love this chart because it just shows you how to make it happen. So who's going to be in Hawaii this year with me? The person who puts themselves in front of the most people, the person who is committing to make those contacts, making those contacts to a day, that's letting those no's roll right off because they know that they're getting closer to their yes with every no that they get. The people who are, adding those 3 to 5 people every month on their team, helping those people get to silver, that adds up quickly, guys. And if, let's say in January you only sign 3 people and you don't get to your goal of 5 or 4 or whatever it is, or somebody that you sign doesn't go silver, don't think that that's the end. We still have time. You have those 7 months to get those people to silver. You have those 7 months to maybe make up for one that you didn't sign 1 month. Don't let a small goal that you didn't meet make you stop. The only failure here is someone who quits and who doesn't keep going and who lets that one little thing discourage them to the point where they don't want to keep going. That is when you fail. Have your list, guys. Most of you that are watching this probably already have in some form or fashion your list going. Once you have that, start filling your calendar. I know the beauty of Plexus is that we aren't required to have parties, and that's one of the great things about Plexus. But I think if we can commit to maybe doing a little bit of that in the beginning, it's going to end up paying off big time in the end. And I know we're all busy, believe me, I know. Chasing kids around, going to appointments, going to gymnastics, whatever, we're working a full-time job. I mean, guys, we are all busy, but that is the great thing about Plexus is it works into the nooks and crannies of our lives, and we talk about that a lot too. Maybe it's just a monthly sip and see, once a month having an evening where you have dedicated to Plexus. Maybe it's a monthly get together with your team. Maybe it's a Zoom chat online with your team or a Zoom training or something like that. Guys, most of mine are online because my team is so widespread now at this point that it's not feasible for me to be in person all the time. So don't feel like you have to go and do necessarily all the time. That's part of the beauty of this business too. My husband travels a lot sometimes, and that's the nice part about it is I can still get things done, even if he's gone, and I can do these Zoom things, and technology is a great thing. Okay. With all of these things, with getting out there, getting to some events, maybe hosting some events on your own, any of these things that I'm telling you to do, it's going to have to be scheduled. And I am learning this more and more now as our family gets busier and busier. If I don't schedule it, it's not going to happen because something else is going to come up and it's going to trump, this thought or this hope that I had of doing something Plexus related. We cannot wait around and hope that it's just going to happen. We're going to have to get out there and we're going to have to make it happen, and we're going to have to figure out when we're doing it. Guys, this is going to be so worth it, and it's going to pay off in a big way. Trust me. This reminds me of that quote, and I can't remember if I said it in a training the other day. Maybe I did. Yeah, it was in the newbie training, the Dave Ramsey quote that says, if you will live like no one else will live right now, then later you will live like no one else can. And basically that just means if you will do this legwork now, if you will make this happen and get your team to where you've got that momentum, you're going to be able to kick back a little bit later, but you're still going to be getting that residual income because your team is still going to keep growing. So just think about that. So now, just to kind of close us out, I just want to ask you guys a question. What would Emerald by July look like for your family? Maybe your goal isn't July. Maybe you're looking at this and you're thinking, I want to do this year. What does Emerald by the end of the year look like for your family? Outside of the obvious, like getting to drive the nice car, getting the pretty car, and getting to go to Hawaii, outside of those perks, maybe it means that you would get to stay at home with your kiddos. Maybe it means that you could retire your husband from his job and he could stay home with you. Maybe it means that you could pay off debt that you've incurred over the years. Maybe it means you could travel more. Maybe you have a dream of just traveling. Maybe it means that you could have more time freedom and be able to focus on your family. For us, Emerald this year means me continuing to get to stay home with our kiddos. It means my husband being able to say no to a job that takes him out of town all the time. It means paying off student loans that we're sitting on. It means focusing more on ministries that we feel like the Lord has placed on our heart. And it just, just being able to give in ways that we never ever thought possible. Um, Whatever it is, guys, there's no wrong answer. Whatever, dream that going Emerald this year makes you envision, there's no wrong answer. But whatever it is, it's worth it. I talk to you guys a lot about dreaming big, and I really, really want y'all to see the possibilities that there are within Plexus and see, the ways that the Lord is using Plexus and what He is doing through Plexus. Um, I say this all the time. It's not about the money. It's about the freedom ultimately. The freedom to give, the freedom of time, all of those things. That is what it's about. And trust me, guys, it's worth it. That freedom is worth it. I hope this encourages you guys. I hope that this gets y'all excited. This makes me pumped, y'all. Just being able to see um, step by step what needs to be done, how we can make this happen, how we can get you guys to Emerald. This makes me excited because it, even for me, puts a visual to it and just lets me see how doable this is. So I hope you guys like this. I hope this encourages you. I hope this gets you excited. If y'all have any questions at all, don't hesitate to reach out and message me. And let's get you guys to Emerald. This is exciting.